this is your host, Aki, or Cyan, or any of the other names I happen to use, such and such. And this will be your episode of mom cooking, or essentially making food every day. This will be a long episode, because this deep fried potato stuff takes a lot of time to actually get anywhere near edible. So, I will be preparing a meal, and you will be watching, because you will be watching. I assume, after all, if you aren't watching, how can you hear me talk about you watching? That sounds weird. So I will be making this thing where I put onion, green veggies, one of those pre-made potatoes and onions mix, sausage and tomato. So this will be my meal. It will be quite delicious. Because everything in my apartment is dirty as hell, I will use this package for the sausages as my frying pan, cutting board. So we will do this. First you take off the skin because you don't want to be frying plastic. Then you cut it into small pieces. I prefer to take steady directional cuts while rotating the sausage. Rotating the sausage! Okay, enough of the fear. That way all of them are a little slanty cornery instead of equal slices, which for me do not feel as good. Tomato probably you could stand and washed. Because this was in a packaged thing that people get into. So it's possible that some bum like me had his fingers on this tomato. So to be safe, I will be washing it when there's a long hair. You know what I hate about having long hair and balding? They do get everywhere. It's like molting with a cat. And we do the same with tomato. Now cut it into small pieces. But make sure you don't take the little green stalk at the middle. That's going to be quite painful to eat. I like to cut them into 4 times so that the little stalk remains in the middle. I like that. I do not have salt and I do not have spices, but I hope this will be good enough. This food will take an inordinately long time to prepare. So prepare some jokes. You grandmas walk into a banana, one of them doesn't fit. That must be a joke for the evening. You know how annoying it is to wake up at 1 o'clock in the middle of the night when you know that you're going to get weed at about 10 in the morning and you were trying to aim for sleeping until then in the morning. It's really annoying. And onions are hard to cut while holding in the hand, so I would prefer to use the fancy high-tech cutting board. And don't worry about them being in a large clump when you drop them on the desk, and the car is going to take care of it. And a little bit of plantgreens. And then a whole heap of this weird thing. That's good. A lot of potato. Then I need a fork. Everybody wants a fork! By the way, 1 o'clock in the middle of the night and I'm screaming like a banshee. Something can be said for actually being a schizophrenic. So this is what it looks like before it's fried. Looks like this. The light is probably on too strongly, so you can't see it well. This has only water. And now for the long, arduous process of waiting around a half an hour for all of this stuff to fry. So that's about the size of it. Now for the next half an hour to an hour, I will occasionally poke the food with a fork and stir it a tiny bit. It is delicious and it is very cheap. It is about $3 a meal, $2-3 a meal. Assuming you don't buy them at the low gas station 24-hour rates, then it's about $5 a meal. Less actually. Don't have anything to marinate them on and don't have any spices. I fried Kessler steaks and kept the marinade on the pan and scraped it from the bag to the pan. And after the steaks were fried, I put them on a plate and then just started frying the rest of the stuff on the marinade thing, and it ended up being really good. So I don't know how this will actually taste without the marinade, so I need to try. Before I serve it to a friend, it would be good to know that it doesn't taste like butt. More butt. Life decides to kick you in the butt. B-U-T-T. That was fun with the translators. Still recall that from Babylon 5. Life decides to kick you in the butt. But what? What? You said life decides to kick you. But. No. It's a part of the body. Well, I'm holding your vocabulary impressed. Life decides to kick you in the butt. But what? Kick you in the butt. What? Kick you in the gluteus maximus. Starting to gently smell food will still take a long time. This part about food preparation is kind of weird. When you're just waiting there for the thing to sizzle and you have to watch it like a hawk so that it doesn't explode. Burn your house and you end up homeless again. So, what is there on the interweb? Probably nothing. dare to put on music because I'm pretty sure that something bad would happen. Like me getting a copyright strike for listening to music from YouTube while actually posting a video to YouTube. Isn't that kind of sort of fascist? Can't listen to their stuff in the public while they're uploading stuff to them. It's like if you had a radio playing a song in the background of like a home video, you would not be able to use it. Dude. Any comments from our audience? From the audience. Oh. No comments and only funny videos on YouTube while the food burns. Oh, there are about thousands of people in the capital queuing for food. There was a food giving drive thing in the capital, and there were thousands of people there getting food. Oh, welcome to the 1930s. Now to gently stir the explosive food. This is great. I probably have a little bit of salt. During some kind of mixed spice combination where they have things like salt, garlic, dried onions, dried chili, all put in the same thing. That would be really nice. And I do not need more butter. And I definitely don't need more frozen potatoes. There we go, little food. Now I have butter and frozen potatoes. And nothing else. By the way, I wanted to show this one for a while. I got new pillows because you can't really wash pillows. You can, but they often end up being lumpy and it's not worth the effort. This is my new pillow. This is how white the old pillow was, and this is my old pillow. Moving on. It's really hygienic. Can't you imagine that? How it marinates your skin, makes you look 100. Can't you imagine how glorious that is? Marinating in your skin. Oh. I wonder if people were so into bursting their zits before mirrors came along. Now that there are mirrors, people are going like, ooh, ooh, zit on my skin. Did they then just go like, hey, you have a zit on your nose? And they were like, here, 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 here. Or were they just like, is not the head of rabbit. I'm gonna get thrown out of this place for being so loud. But I can't help it, you guys need me. You need me to be loud. This is a weird way to be looking at the pan, you know? That's better. Now there is the light of Jesus on the wall. Shine it, and Jesus cometh and saves us all. Except now. Mary had her first name, it wasn't Jesus. Mary had her last name, it wasn't Christus. That just tells me that they were all bastards living together. Just like friends in the 20th century. Banging all the Samanthas. My Mary had her first name, it's bastards living. My Mary had her second name, it's not funny to say. You ask him what he'll say. Cause Mary liked to play Warcraft 3, but no more cause now she left me. Harsh like a banana, harsh like a banana. My Mary liked Warcraft, it was her thing to play. She'd put in my ass and kick me out. But sometimes I'd win too. She'd be really competitive, so when I'd win, she'd snuggle. Never mind. So, you are appearing like you are ready at food. Though I can rest assured that you are not. Due to the onions not yet being cooked. I will, however, turn the stove off. Let us take an onion. 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 Ah! Onion. There we go. Ah. I'll wait a moment. yet to purchase kitchen utensils like those things you scrub the pots with, so I'm using a clean soft. It is still clothing, so it'll do the job. I know it's disgusting. But you live the way I do and you end up doing a lot of disgusting things. You learn a lot. And washing off the rest of the time. So there is no soap on the thing. Well, I also don't need the plantgreens. It's almost enough for one vegetarian meal. Let us see if this is indeed edible. You will now be my audience for me eating. Your role has changed. You have been promoted from kitchen staff to dining room staff. Isn't that nice, your promotion? You're no longer in the yard. This is a joke. My homeless homies will get quite well. It's making the kind of sound it does before the hard drive explodes. Okay, whatever. So this is the meal. Let me test if it is edible. A piece of sausage and perhaps some potatoes. Perhaps some potatoes. It is edible. But you can clearly tell there's no spice in it, and it's also hot as hell. Water. Good God, thank you for water. It's good, but a little bland because there's no spice. It's food. I could probably serve this to some guests. Definitely better than the €3 pizza pies I bought last. Those were just awful. Awful. It had half a kilo of pizza in two pizzas for $3 whole. And those were just. That was some good ass grub. Call it a successful episode. I rank this food about an 8. Yes, baldy cooked an 8. That's about it. Thank you.